The top stories tonight in Y News. The situation at the Egypt-Gaza Rafah Border Crossing remains uncertain for thousands of people, including 7 to 8 Filipinos, hopes to leave ahead of an expected Israeli ground offensive. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. shares confidence in the nation's enhanced ability to defend its sovereignty in the West Philippine Sea, assuring additional assets for the Philippine Coast Guard. The Senate officials provide reassurance that no confidential data was compromised, as the website primarily contains public documents and information. And the Hamas militant group demands release of 6,000 prisoners in exchange for Gaza hostages. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Tuesday, October 17, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Hardy Delgado. First in the news. In the Middle East, anticipation builds as thousands of individuals, among them 7 to 8 Filipinos, eagerly await the reopening of the Egypt-Gaza Rafah border crossing. Meanwhile, the first batch of Filipinos residing in Israel is scheduled to arrive in Manila on Wednesday, October 18th. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
The situation at the Egypt-Gaza Rafah border crossing remains uncertain for thousands of people hoping to leave ahead of an expected Israeli ground offensive. This includes less than 80 Filipinos who want to come back to the Philippines. Diplomatic efforts persist in seeking the passage's reopening and the safe evacuation of all foreign passport holders, including Filipinos. Once granted passage, our kababayans will find temporary respite in Egypt before their repatriation to the Philippines.
Ang worry natin, hindi po yung corridor, pero ganong katagal sila ipoprocess dun sa Egyptian side para sa kanilang mga visas na pending na ngayon sa Egyptian government. Nakasubmit na lahat ng pangalan nila sa Egyptian government.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. assures it is the priority of the government to ensure the security and welfare of the Philippine nationals in Gaza affected by the Israel-Hamas conflict. But according to the United Nations, there's no progress on the negotiations regarding the opening of the crossing. Meanwhile, 17 overseas Filipino workers from war-torn Israel will arrive in Manila on Wednesday, October 18. This was confirmed by the Philippine Department of Foreign Affairs.
Bukas mismo darating yung first batch na umuwi from Israel. 17 persons na ayaw na doon dahil either na economic problem or kasama dyan yung mga konting na-evacuate from the south, ayaw na tumira doon.
Based on the report of the Department of Migrant Workers Officer in Charge Hans Leo Kakdak, 35 OFWs in Israel signify their wish to return to the Philippines amid the ongoing conflict. The Department of Foreign Affairs reports that 3 OFWs have lost their lives due to the actions of Hamas militants, while 3 others remain unaccounted for. Rosalie Cos, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
In a solemn response to the tragic loss of Floreta Villarin Alacre, the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, has extended its compassionate hand to the bereaved family. Loreta, an overseas Filipino worker, fell victim to the recent Hamas attack on the Gaza border in southern Israel. From the DSWD Western Visayas, an initial cash aid of 40,000 pesos has been offered to assist the grieving family during this challenging time. Furthermore, the agency is actively exploring avenues for providing livelihood assistance, and they stand prepared to support and assist Filipino migrant workers who are to be repatriated from Israel and Palestine. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. reiterated his unwavering commitment to fortifying the Philippine Coast Guard's capabilities, especially amid the ongoing tensions in the West Philippine Sea. In response, the Philippine Coast Guard assured the president of their steadfast vigilance over Philippine territory, underlining the dedication and determination to safeguard the nation's interests in these challenging times. Nel Maribuhok reports.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. recently expressed confidence in the nation's enhanced ability to defend its sovereignty in the West Philippine Sea. In a chance interview with reporters during the 122nd Philippine Coast Guard founding anniversary, President Marcos shared that approximately 40 more vessels crafted in Cebu are anticipated to bolster the PCG's capabilities.
The new vessel that we are seeing there, the 40-foot vessel that's made in Cebu, yan ang isa sa ating mga idadagdag natin. We will eventually have 40 of them, and that will give us an increased capability.
He noted PCG personnel were on the front line in the problem we are facing now in the West Philippine Sea. In his speech, PBBM vowed that the government will continue to support the agency in its endeavor to protect Philippine sovereignty.
Be assured that this administration firmly stands with you in your plans and efforts to improve, expand, and modernize the capabilities and services so that you may better contribute to the security and welfare of our people and of the nation.
Echoing this commitment, PCG Commandant Admiral Artemio Abu made a resolute declaration emphasizing that not a single inch of the country's territory would be surrendered.
Despite the great danger of operating in the West Philippine Sea, we continue to fulfill our mission of ensuring our country will not let go even a square inch of its territory to any foreign power.
Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
In the run-up to the Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections on October 30, the Philippine National Police or PNP has recorded a total of 15 validated election-related incidents just 13 days before the scheduled voting. PNP Chief Police General Benjamin Acorda Jr. reported that in addition to these, 16 other incidents are currently under investigation, while 54 incidents are classified as non-election related. Of the 15 validated election-related incidents, 11 involved shooting events, 2 were kidnappings, 1 constituted a grave threat, and 1 was an indiscriminate firing.
Now, with regards to the reason why these things are happening, of course, naging kwan kasi yan observation, even for my how many years in the service. History, ang barangay election, medyo extreme yan. It's either sa isang locality, it will be very peaceful kasi magkakamag-anak. But it can be violent kasi magkakakilala sila and kuminsan long time grudges na yung mga yan and kuminsan may blood death na involved. And so that when it comes to barangay election, sila rin at magkakakilala nagiging ma-violente. All because of that yung control over the area.
Acorda added that the victims of this incident include 6 barangay captains, 1 incumbent barangay councilor, 2 candidate barangay captains, 4 relatives of a candidate, 1 supporter of a candidate, and 1 civilian. On Thursday, October 19, the campaign period for the Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections, or BSKE, is set to commence. The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, has issued a reminder urging strict adherence to campaign guidelines during this critical period. Dante Amento tells us why.
The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, has reiterated its uncompromising stance against violators of election guidelines for the upcoming electoral exercises. Chairman George Erwin Garcia emphasized that candidates adhering to existing laws will not face penalties. The campaign period for this year's Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections, or BSKE, is slated to begin on Thursday, October 19, running through until October 28, 2023.
May nilabas po kaming guidelines kahapon sa lahat ng mga election officers namin. Hindi po kami mag-aatubili na magtanggal ng campaign materials nyo.
In an urgent memorandum released by the Commission, candidates are permitted to utilize social media for campaigning, albeit, but it is subject within specific limitations. Candidates along with 5 staff members are also allowed to wear t-shirts featuring the candidate's picture. However, supporters are advised against these to avoid the presumption of vote buying. Notably, the distribution of items such as bowlers, fans, ball pens, and other items with value is strictly prohibited.
Bawal po tayo magpakain before, during, or even after the conduct of a meeting, of a rally. Huwag na po natin sanayin na pinapakain natin dahil po vote buying po yan.
Campaign posters are to be sized at 2 by 3 feet and should be placed only in designated common poster areas. Any illegal campaign posters will be promptly removed and potential complaints may be filed against the candidate involved.
Pero kung nasa private property yan, mas malaki pa sa bahay yung mismong campaign material, susulatan po namin kayo, ipapatanggal namin sa inyo. Bahala kayong kumausap sa may-ari po ng bahay o may-ari ng property.
Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And for the news abroad, Hamas has made a bold claim asserting that they possess the necessary means to liberate all Palestinian prisoners currently held in Israel's detention. These include both Israeli and non-Israeli captives viewed as bargaining chips for negotiation. Paul Gatchalian details why.
Top Hamas leader Khaled Meshal stated on Monday that the military group has claimed to possess the necessary resources to release 6,000 Palestinian prisoners held in Israel, proposing an exchange for Israeli and non-Israeli hostages kidnapped on October 7. Israel's military states they have 199 hostages, while Hamas estimates the number to be between 200 and 250. The captives are believed to be from various countries, including Thailand and Germany. Other nations have reported their citizens missing, as well as Israelis with dual nationality. Abu Obaida, spokesman for Hamas armed wing, conveyed in a video message that the foreign detainees are considered guests and may be possibly released. However, no specific details regarding the release were provided. Additionally, senior Hamas official Mosa Abu Marzouk stated that foreign prisoners cannot be released due to Israeli bombings in Gaza. Paul Gatchalian, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
United States President Joe Biden is set to journey to Israel tomorrow, Wednesday, October 18. This trip carries significant weight, indicating U.S. support for the embattled region, as preparations for a ground assault on Hamas militants are in progress. Gaza faces a distressing water shortage, leaving its residents grappling to find clean, safe water. In recent developments, Secretary of State Antony Blinken engaged in a marathon 7-hour meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other Israeli officials, culminating in an agreement between the United States and Israel. The aid is deemed critical, especially as Gaza faces this dire water crisis. However, the specifics regarding the dispatch of aid to the area and the civilians can expect remain unclear, despite Secretary Blinken's emphasis on the urgency of assistance. Furthermore, at the Rafah crossing, trucks loaded with essential supplies such as fuel and water stand ready waiting to cross over from Egypt. The crossing had been temporarily shut due to the ongoing airstrikes. Secretary Blinken anticipates the Rafah crossing will reopen soon to facilitate the delivery of crucial humanitarian aid. This is all unfolding amidst the Israel-Hamas conflict, where a joint aid plan has been agreed upon by the U.S. and Israel, precisely when Gaza is grappling with severe water crisis, forcing families to turn to unsafe sources. The UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees has sounded the alarm. We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, Harleen.
Thank you, Kathy. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. A wave of cyber attacks targeting various government offices, including a recent hacking attempt on the Senate website, has raised significant concerns among several senators. This report will tell us why. On a concerning day when the official website of the House of Representatives was defaced by hackers, its counterpart, the Senate, also recorded hacking attempts on its website. Senate Secretary Attorney Renato Bantug Jr. says an increase in its traffic were monitored on Sunday noon, which their anti-hacking software tagged as malicious requests. The IP addresses of the attempts were traced from countries Germany, United States, Vietnam, and the Philippines.
Mostly actually full of bots. Spoofed IP addresses, probably Europe. Maybe they're not really from Germany. Using VPN.
The Senate officials assured no confidential data was hacked, as the website only contains public documents and that hackers can only obtain bragging rights.
It's essentially just them trying to vandalize or putting graffiti in the homepage, or the denial of service, you know. The only possible private data that they can mine would be our email server. But none of our senators, as of the present moment, use our email servers. So it will not be compromised at all at this stage. No?
Following the series of cyber attacks against government agencies, several senators are concerned that things may get out of hand, with critical infrastructures as the next target.
Kahit na website lang ang dinideface o ina-attack nila o kinukuha lang yung mga pangalan, pero tingin ko umpisa pa lang to sa mas malalim pang mga makikita natin problema. Sa pakikipag-usap ko sa mga kaibigan natin na nasa IT industry, na tingin rin nila na merong parang concerted effort to, na meron talagang sinasadya at tinetesting yung capability ng ating gobyerno.
Napakalaking irony that the biggest issue now is people want to know saan ginagamit yung confidential funds. On the other hand, things that have to be confidential, like your health records, are now being hacked and exposed to the public. So parang baliktad ata mundo natin.
Lawmakers are now stressing the need to bolster the country's cybersecurity and go after hackers, with several senators earlier vowed to fight for the restoration of the confidential funds of the Department of Information and Communications Technology in 2024. Jorlene Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God. Transport Group Manibela has claimed disruptions to passengers on their second day of transport strike. JP Nunez will tell us why.
On a Facebook post shared by the Transport Group Manibela, who leads the ongoing transport strike, a group of jeepney drivers with Sangandaan to Divisoria routes showed their jeepneys on garage. They are joining Transport Group Manibela on its second day of transport strike on its call to temporarily suspend the implementation of the Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program and the call for the probe on alleged corruption in the LTFRB.
Andito po kami sa garahe. May isang grupo po kami rito na hindi po kami bumiyahe para makisama po sa strike ng Manibela. Ayan po ang mga jeep namin, lahat nakaparada lang.
Based on the report of Manibela, they caused disruption to commuters on majority of cities in Metro Manila. They even shared videos of commuters taking free rides of police mobile for transportation and stranded passengers in streets. They opposed the claim of Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA that their stage strike had been a failure. On the other hand, some jeepney drivers who joined the strike yesterday continue to ply their routes today. They explained that they cannot extend joining transport strike as they don't have enough money to provide for their families.
Wala kaming pambili ng bigas, wala kaming panggastos sa estudyante ko, wala pambaon. Tuloy yung biyahe.
Halimbawa, isang linggo tigil pasada, kaya nyo ba yun?
Ay, wala na, di na kaya yun. Mahirapan na rin. Gutom na kami, gutom na pamilya. Wala nang biyahe.
Other jeepney drivers did not participate even on the commencement of the strike yesterday as they have no other sources of income. This despite they echo the same sentiment with the manibela against PUVMP and the jeepney phase-out.
Gutom lang, pare-parehas. Kaya hindi na rin kami sumama. Hindi, obligado wala talaga kasi wala kaming biyahe. Mahirap, wala kaming kainin eh.
Wala ring pera para minto ng biyahe. Siyempre pag hindi bumiyahe, wala rin kita. Ang driver ng jeep isang beses, dalawang beses lang na hindi makabiyahe, wala nang pera yan.
Meanwhile, the LTFRB said they may issue show cause order to operators who staged their protests yesterday. According to LTFRB Technical Division Head Joel Bolano, public transportation with legal franchise are obliged to serve the commuters. They may face suspension or revocation of their franchise.
Alam niyo po, yung franchise may kaakibat po yan na responsibilidad at terms and conditions pag iyan po ay ibinibigay sa ating mga operator. Ito pong transport strike, isa yan sa pinagbabawal doon sa kanilang terms and conditions. At kung mayroon man pong makita o information na nakuha ito sa 2 araw na ito, ang LTFRB ay pwede po silang imbestigahan at isi-showcase po sila ng LTFRB.
JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration or PAG-ASA is closely monitoring a concerning trend, the continuous rise in sea surface temperatures. This escalation in temperatures can potentially have far-reaching effects, including implications on the presence and behavior of the northeast monsoon. Dante Amento tells us why.
In the upcoming weeks, the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration or PAG-ASA may announce the onset of the northeast monsoon. This weather system is anticipated to bring cold weather to the country, particularly in Luzon. However, this anticipated weather pattern might be influenced by the El Niño phenomenon as indicated by PAG-ASA.
On the average, medyo nakikita natin na warmer than usual yung ating amihan season in general. Pero makakaranas pa rin tayo ng mga tinatawag na cold surges, lalong-lalo na pagdating ng January-February season.
The agency is closely observing the continuous increase in sea surface temperatures. Moreover, PAG-ASA forecasts that over half of the country's area are likely to experience way below normal rainfall, underscoring concerns about water supply.
So, ibig sabihin, medyo mas uminit pa ng more than 1 degree centigrade yung ating temperature. At ito ay posible pong maging strong pa ang El Niño.
Earlier this morning, the water level in Angat Dam has reached over 206 meters. The Water Resources Management Office stressed the need for the water level to reach 207 meters by the end of 2023 to ensure sufficient water supply for the first 3 months of 2024. Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista has taken legal action by filing a cyber libel complaint against Manibela chairperson Mar Valbuena and journalist Ira Panganiban earlier today before the Department of Justice. This legal action follows accusations made by Valbuena claiming that the transport chief received bribe money in exchange for approving transactions at the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board or LTFRB. Additionally, journalist Ira Panganiban allegedly posted an accusation of corruption against Bautista on social media. In response, Valbuena dismissed the complaint, labeling it as pure harassment and an abuse of power. Panganiban, on the other hand, maintained that he was unaware of Secretary Bautista's remarks and emphasized that he is simply performing his duties as a journalist.
Marami silang accusations, no? Na ako daw ay tumanggap ng pera, no? Suhol, no? Which hindi naman totoo. Kaya gusto ko lang protektahan yung aking pangalan na inalaga ako for almost 45 years. Bakit na naman papatulan yung request ni Valbuena, no? napaka-irresponsabling transport leader yan. Kaya nga nag-file ako ng kaso against you.
In other global news, in Brussels, a city on high alert following a deadly shooting incident during a match between the Swedish national football team and Belgium, where 2 Swedes lost their lives as a gunman claimed inspiration from the Islamic State. The stadium was evacuated at halftime with residents advised to stay indoors and the suspects still at large pledged allegiance to the Islamic State via a video posted on social media. The attack targeted those wearing Swedish national team football shirts, raising grave concerns for the safety of over 35,000 football fans at the match. Swedish national president received additional police protection, while Sweden's national players were swiftly escorted to the airport for their safety. The threat level in Brussels has been elevated to level 4, signifying an extremely serious threat. The suspect, a 45-year-old man of Tunisian origin, residing in Brussels, is currently under investigation. Prime Minister Alexander De Croo expressed condolences to Sweden and emphasized the collective fight against terrorism. The incident occurred in Brussels' northern districts, with further details still awaiting disclosure. The Belgian Royal Palace and European leaders, including Charles Michel and Ursula von der Leyen, united in condemnation of the attack and stood firmly against terrorism. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Kathy Navarro, live from Vietnam. Good evening.
Our kasambahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
Before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God. From the book of John, chapter 17, verse 17, it says, "Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth." And those are the reasons behind the news October 17, 2023. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold, because we need to know. We will always ask why. I am Hardin Delgado. We serve the people. We give glory to God.